nearly deleted almost.
Well, we're here, aren't we?
We are, mate. We are.
In lovely Barnes, in the podcast rooms, to talk about what a week, mate. What a week. It was good, wasn't it?
It was good.
It was good.
Royal Ascot was a good week.
Yeah, it was. It's always impressive.
It's weird to be back speaking
about
this again.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
we did it a few years ago, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. We had a few. Yeah, we had a few videos out there about having some, having talks about some of the race meetings and stuff. But to do it in an environment like this is a bit different.
It's very different.
It's good.
I'm a bit camera shy, Harry.
Are you? Well, there's a lot of cameras in it, mate. Look, you've got one there. There's one on you here. There. Look.
I'm all good, mate.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, what a week, mate. It was good. I'm really pleased because I know you saw a lot more of it than I did, didn't you? Because I had the back end of the week off.
Yeah.
You were still working, but you had one eye on it, didn't you?
I saw it. Yeah, I was trying to keep as much on it as I could, obviously, while still working, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was some of the races. Normally, with Ascot, they can be a little bit. Well, you can get which was some races with massive sort of 20-length winners, which we'll touch on later. But, no, I thought it was good racing overall.
It was brilliant. I thought talking points today. So we've obviously structured it in a way that we're going to take each day and then just talk about a race for that day.
Yeah.
So we had 8 Group 1s. There was 8 Group 2s. And there was 3 Group 3s and a shitload of hot handicaps.
Yeah, it was good racing, mate. It really was good racing.
You know, it's time permitting. So we only touch on a few of those. So obviously it remained fast ground throughout the event, didn't it? So it was firm. They had no rain. It's hot out there at the moment, mate. It's hot.
Yeah.
Really, really hot. But before we dive into that, just a few minutes because we didn't get to talk about it properly. The Derby.
Yeah.
Quick couple of minutes because obviously the story is that you were at the Derby, I was at the Derby, but we were worlds apart at the Derby, and I was phoning you every 2 minutes going, "Fucking hell, did you see that? Did you see that?"
Yeah.
And you say, "Yeah, I saw it. So let's talk about it.
Well, we had a nice few winners.
We did, yeah.
Do you want to tell everyone about your bet?
About my bet. Yes, I do want to tell everyone about my bet. Yeah, I do. So I had a £5 free bet treble, which I put on at the start of the day or the night before, which was good. And it was on Breege.
Yeah. Royal Scotsman,
Jamie Spencer, big shout out, Jamie Spencer, absolute legend. Front running ride from Royal Scotsman, which was not like his normal. It's not what he does. So change of tactics, which worked. Come out the gates.
And over distance as well, mile 2, wasn't
he? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So come out the gates, and I thought, oh, this is different. This is different. So that was good, and obviously, Breege won. Some may say got a bit lucky because the George Bowie thing got a little bit trapped in.
Yeah, she combined.
But I still think that I still think Breege done really, really well.
Well, we're both on it, so it was happy days.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, nice price as well, wasn't it? 7 to 1.
7 to 1.
Yeah, 7 to 1. And Royal Scotsman was, what was he? 5, 6s?
No, bigger than that one. Didn't he go for like 8, 9 to 1 or something?
Oh, maybe you're right. Yeah. Okay, maybe you're right. So that was that, and obviously 2 out of 3 came in. I sent it to you, and I said, mate, this is looking a bit juicy now. This is looking a little bit juicy. All eyes on the Derby, but mate, at this point. Because obviously I had City of Troy.
Yep.
And I was talking about City of Troy. You were talking to me about City of Troy.
Yep.
What happened, Chris? What happened, mate?
Yeah, what happened, mate? Yeah,
tell people. We're in here now for you to speak about it.
No, well, look, I had a running 4-fold accumulator of Rosallion to win the Irish Derby, Ylang Ylang to win the Oaks, City of Troy to win the Derby, and Kiprioff to win the Gold Cup at Ascot. Unfortunately, Ylang Ylang the day before let me down on that. And I went about, thought, is that form, is it true? Well, obviously, it ended up she had an injury.
Yeah.
So I thought, City of Troy, I need to check this out. Obviously, the Guinness run was just a nightmare, wasn't it? Absolute disaster.
Yeah, it was.
So stupidly, I switched to Los Angeles.
That's right.
Schoolboy error.
So Chris was non-stop talking about non-stop talking about City of Troy. We were both talking to each other about it, and once the race begun, it was only briefly beforehand. Was it the day before or just before the race begun that you started talking about Los Angeles?
No, I texted you the night before
Yeah,
saying
you did,
I think
yeah,
I've
yeah.
changed. Look, yeah, stupid. We said City of Troy straight after the Guineas will win the Derby, even on the back of that bad run, because those sort of horses don't run bad twice in a row like that. They just don't.
No.
Um,
And obviously, it was so I was watching the race unfold, and let's just go because obviously we don't want to spend too much time on this, but let's talk about it. Obviously, Ryan was drawn wide, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Really wide, and sat at the back. Then begun to make places as they come round the top corner.
Yeah.
And he's on the rail, comes off the rail. You got Los Angeles in second place. You got the other O'Brien horse leading the way, and you got Ambiente Friendly,
Yeah.
who's sort of fourth or fifth, travelling like a dream.
Yeah.
So they come around the bend, and I'm obviously this was a fiver for £1,500, so it wasn't to be sniffed at. And they've come around the top bend, and you could then see, in typical Ryan Moore fashion, beginning to plot his passage through the horses.
It did.
It's come
Yeah.
off, and then the gap has opened up. Interestingly enough, just say my bit before. I'm watching the race back, and I'm like, because obviously Pat Dobbs fell off Voyage, and there was a riderless
Yeah.
horse, and I think it was
Yeah.
Voyage,
It
who was
was.
riderless, and just come across Ambiente Friendly when the move was being made, and I thought, and Ryan got the gap, and went first. He got
Yeah.
first run,
Yeah.
while Ambiente Friendly was still on the bridle.
It took the brave route. It took the inside brave route, Ryan Moore, which some jockeys won't do. They just won't do it.
Only Ryan,
I suppose in the Derby, but it's called jockey, and
It was
took
brave
it,
as you like.
He won well, didn't he? He did win well.
He did win well. I think once he got into his stride.
Oh, sorry, mate. That better?
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, no. Oh, I should pay attention. Yeah, that's all right.
So we get told off. So yeah, and once it got the gap, and once was asked to quicken and picked up his stride, it was over. It was
Yeah,
absolutely over.
yeah.
So I'm screaming. I'm screaming for Ryan to just ride him out. And in the end, it looked a bit snug, didn't it?
Yeah,
when he
it
picked
did.
it up.
It was. If you actually look at it back, even though City of Troy won well, we did say it was a poor derby. We said that.
Yeah, we did.
For weeks
Yeah,
before.
yeah, we did.
And if you take the first three,
Yeah.
so if you take City of Troy, Los Angeles, and Ambiente Friendly,
Yeah.
if you look at every horse behind that, it's not a strong derby.
No, it wasn't.
But on the back of his Guineas run, he had to come out and prove it, and he did.
He did, yeah, because it was like an Augusta Rodin story, wasn't it? It was it was another bounce back horse that you thought he's got to do it. He's got to do it over further, and he's got to wipe out the last race.
No, that's it.
And he did.
But,
It's interesting.
So,
Anyway, it was a good derby, so yeah, I enjoyed it. We then obviously had we said we had a great week. Day one, we had the St James's Palace Stake, which was won by a horse that you highly recommended, and you texted me straight after this race, and you said Rosalian's a proper horse.
Yeah,
Rosalian's a
absolutely,
proper
mate.
horse. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
And it was it looked like it was run at fast pace, and it was just Sean Levy had Rosalian on the inside. Watching it back, it looked a bit snug at the end, mate.
Yeah, he
It
nearly got
did.
trapped.
And we weren't sure because of his busy schedule, were we?
No,
because
Sean
he's had
Levy nearly got him trapped on the inside, but the gap did open up. But no, after the Guineas, because he looked the winner of the Guineas, didn't quite get there. Then I backed him in the Irish Guineas, which he won, and we did think it might be a bit of a quick turnaround. But mate, he's class.
So
He's
I
proven
looked
all
at the run that Henry Longfellow had in Longchamp, because when Rosalian went past Henry Longfellow, I thought he's done it a bit snug.
Yeah.
So I thought he'd done it. In the end, it was always going to happen because he had the gap. Even Ryan got first run.
Yeah.
Because he was leading it from the front. I looked at the race because we talked about it beforehand, and I said let's not rule this thing out because Longchamp was a tricky race for it. It was Ryan was at the back and pretty much gave up towards the end of the race. He thought, oh, you know what, fuck these traffic issues. I'm not going to exert anything. Why bother? Why bother? Let's wait and go into the next Group 1. And in the end, it was like, I'm done.
He's going to be a class. He's a class miler already.
Yeah, he
and
is.
you can't see his form dropping anytime soon.
No. So yeah, it was overly impressive, and I thought, oh god, we might have a proper miler here.
Yeah,
we definitely do.
He's going to be a good one, mate.
Yeah. So that was impressive.
I got a quote actually.
What do you say?
I got a quote from Hannon. I saw this earlier.
Oh, exclusive.
And he said, I couldn't believe he got beaten in the Guineas the way he was travelling that day. He went on to win the Irish Guineas very well, and he's a complete package. He's as good as horse as I've ever seen at our place. Now, that's coming from Hannon, who had horses like Camford Cliffs. And Camford Cliffs was an absolute brilliant miler. So he holds him in high regard.
Clearly.
So it's a statement.
Hannon's been in good form. He's always consistent.
Yeah,
but
he
he's
is.
never.
But for him to say he's one of the best he's had in his place, when I say when he's had horses like Camford Cliffs and people like that were star milers, that's clearly holds him in proper high regard.
Do we know where he goes or what he does now?
No, could he go for the Sussex possibly?
Oh, maybe.
Goodwood.
Okay.
Yeah,
A Goodwood. Yeah, potentially.
But we'll see what comes of it.
Yeah, so I'm going to. I told you no. I'm going to Newmarket for the July Cup, and I'm obviously going to see a lot of good horses that we saw.
Yeah.
Inisherin is one of them that won the sprint, and I was looking at that card last night, and I thought there's going to be a lot of horses that we've seen at Ascot up there, so I'm pleased to be going for that.
No,
but yeah, maybe he'll go there. Day 2.
Yep.
Day 2 we had Prince of Wales and another horse with a similar story to Seat of Troy, isn't it? I mean, where do we start with this horse? Auguste Rodin. It was the race where we talked about Inspiral probably being the horse to beat, wasn't it?
Yeah. Inspiral.
Drawn wide,
missed a kick.
Did miss the kick.
But when we're talking about Auguste Rodin, he's an enigma. He's an absolute enigma, isn't he? Because he's either good or he's shit.
Yeah.
He's either first or he's last.
But that's how it is,
It's as simple as
if
that.
O'Brien could say that in front of the cameras, he would.
Yeah, he would, yeah. And he come second over in Ireland, didn't he? In his sort of prep run. And then for me, with Auguste Rodin, you know halfway whether he's in the race or he's not. So 4 out, he's sat in behind the pace, he's travelling beautifully.
Yeah.
So you know he's on a going day, he's in the race. And he won quite well, didn't he, in the end? He wasn't stopping at the line because he gets to mile 4, so he wasn't going to stop over mile 2.
Well, it's interesting you say that. I was actually, I was listening to, and this was only on the way here, I was listening to O'Brien talk about the not change of tactics, but he reckons he's got the instructions all wrong up until that win the other day with Auguste Rodin, the instructions to Ryan, because he reckons he hits the front, he steadies, and then he goes again. Yeah. So if he's up with the pace, whereas he was being ridden from too far back, given too much to do. But I thought that was quite interesting.
It is.
For him to say that. But it was, I mean, he's got so much talent, mate.
Yeah.
So much talent.
He won well, but he's just one of those horses I can never have my money on him.
I couldn't have it. I know.
Because you don't know if you're, after 3 furlongs you beat, you don't know what you're getting with him.
Listen to this, right? Problem. Listen to this. So, what's happened for the last 6 to 8 races of Auguste Rodin is the horse has had 2 good runs, 2 bad runs, 2 good runs, 2 bad runs.
Okay.
It's followed that sequence.
That's interesting.
Really interesting. It was only when I looked at it I thought, I don't know why that's interesting. Don't know what to do with that information, but
no,
I found
he's a 1 mile 2, 1 mile 4 Group 1 Derby winner. But he can go in. He could probably end in a 1 mile 4 handicap and finish last.
Yeah, he
if
probably
he's not on a going day, because when he is a bad day, he is a bad day.
Yeah, he probably could.
It's as simple as that with him.
You're spot on.
But he won well.
No, he won really well. So that was nice. I quite like to see that. I need to make a point on this race. I texted you before the race. I said I can't trust him. This is Auguste Rodin. Alfilia, which is the Owen Burrows runner in the race, that went off as a starting price of, I think it went off at 6-1.
Yeah,
it might be 6-1, but it was much bigger during the day. It was, you could have got it at 12 or 14s.
Yeah.
And had 2 or 3 races on good to firm ground, and won. and come second last time out, and came into this race, and I thought, my God, this has got a chance here. But
Yeah, it did.
yeah, it had a really good chance. But since last season, has the horse got stronger? Does it need to go a little bit further? And it's sort of it was there, but then got caught in a small pocket, and the two French horses came through and almost sandwiched it.
It did.
And then once Jim pulled it out, Jim Crowley riding it pulled it out. It was then it seemed to flatten and then go again.
It did.
And
Yeah, I was
thought,
going to touch on her actually later on in this podcast with something else.
Don't tell me. Oh, okay,
But
right.
No, I will because
Is it your horse to take away?
It was one of them, but it's not my main one. So I will touch on her now. It's yeah, you're right. Got there, seemed to get squeezed.
Yeah, it did.
Got caught for pace a little bit, but then came wide and then finished strong.
Yes.
We'll win a race.
Yeah.
Definitely we'll win in the next race too. But
I think it's a horse that it's my takeout horse from the festival, from the meeting. And I think it's one to remember.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Depending on where it goes.
But we'll touch on those ones later.
Yeah, fine. No, of course. Yeah, I don't want to step on anyone's toes.
Not stepping on their toes, mate. We're talking about August Road Inn. Come on.
Yeah.
Get your act together.
Do you want to talk about the Gold Cup then?
Yeah. Gold Cup, and that was on the Thursday, wasn't it? Yeah.
The Gold Cup was on the Thursday. Yeah. So we're on Thursday. We're on Thursday already.
That's all right. That's all right. It's other stuff to cover, mate.
There is, mate.
All good. Yeah. Well, do you want me to start?
Yeah, give it to me from the beginning.
Kyprios. Again, I wasn't sure on this race. It's run twice already this season in prep runs over 1.6 miles against poor opposition, but did what it needed to do. So you think, yeah. But like I say, I had this horse in a fourfold from months ago because when it comes to the Gold Cup and that big races, he's a class stayer. He is a class stayer. Race-wise, I don't know your take on it, but him and Trawlerman just sort of went off, didn't they?
They did. They went off together in a pair.
And it ended up with those two, first and second. So it was, I think, is that him on the screen there?
Yeah, we've got these two here. Yeah. This is how it finished. Yeah, in the end, it was, again, probably a tad snug in the end, as you can see from there. It was a push-out, wasn't it, towards the end? Yeah, go on. Sorry.
But the only one that tried challenging, and this one, we both were a bit pissed at this horse ran as bad as it did, was Coyce Chorister, if that's how you say it.
Oh God, this was.
We had a chat before the race, didn't we? Saying, do you know what? At 20-1, this thing could show up and place quite comfortably.
Mate, 20-1, couple of starts over 2 miles already. It looked to be staying on in both. It's only just entered the territory of 2 miles.
Yeah.
I know that David Menissier is in good form, and he's got his. She's the star of the stable.
Yeah.
So, and you're looking at the race and you think there shouldn't be any problem with the ground.
No.
She was so keen.
Yeah.
She was lit up.
Pulled to the front pretty much halfway with the front two, and had done the race. When you pull out halfway for a race over that distance, you're done because it's very, very difficult for them to then kick on again after that. But yeah, going back to Kyprios and Trawlerman, had a good ding dong, didn't they, down the final straight, last couple of furlongs, but I think the class on Kyprios just came through. I will say on that, actually, that's actually a very good training performance from O'Brien. Because even though it's won its first couple of races, like I say, there weren't much to look at. So to get him there in peak form just for that race is, fair play to him.
I think so. It was impressive. I was gutted because, remember, we're sitting there and we're watching it on ITV, aren't we? Shout out to ITV, they're a big fan of our podcast. And I'm waiting for the race.
And another broadcaster wants to watch our content as well.
Yeah, I didn't mean to leave you out. And suddenly we're watching replays of 1980s, 1990s derbies. And I'm like,
that was weird. Yeah,
what's going on here? What's going on here? Because I haven't got used to ITV, because obviously ITV1 have only got the slot and then they move it on to ITV4. So you got to switch over. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then suddenly I'm on my phone and I'm like, race ended.
Yeah, I text you going,
you what?
Has the race been delayed?
Yeah.
Because it's not on. It's showing stuff like you said from the 80s and 90s.
By that time I was pissed off.
Yeah, because it finished.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and ITV switched it. Yeah,
and there's nothing worse than going to have to look at the result rather than actually see what the result is live.
No, that was that was weird, mate. Yeah,
we got seriously mugged off there.
We did miss that one.
So I had to watch it back to see, why the result was the way it was.
Yeah.
Sweet William stayed on like a train. First time at that distance again, at the extreme distance.
Yeah.
So if he goes back there, No reason why I couldn't go back next year, is there?
No, maybe ground. Might want a bit softer ground. It's good to
I think there was a lot of horses that wanted the ground a bit softer, weren't there?
Wants a bit softer ground. I actually thought it'd run all right. I mean, it didn't pick up much, did it?
Just stayed on in the end.
Yeah, I thought it might run better than what it did. But take nothing away from Kyprios, like I say, he's deserved winner. It was a right favourite, and
it was proper impressive, mate. It was.
Yeah.
It was everything. It was everything you wanted to see about a stayers race. You love a stayers race, don't you?
I do, love. I'm a bit of a king of the stayers, aren't I?
Soft spot for the stayer races.
He looked at one point actually, Trawlerman coming down the inside of him. He thought, oh, hang on, this could get interesting, because I think at one point he did actually get alongside him, but then he pulled away, didn't he?
I thought we were going to be in for another an Enable and remember that race where Enable and Crystal Ocean were going neck and neck all the way at Sandown.
Yeah.
Was it? No, sorry, it was King George. King George, sorry.
King George at Ascot.
And they were going neck and neck, and the commentator's like, Crystal Ocean will not give in. And I thought when they were upsize each other, we might be in for another of that. And it's like, that is a horse race.
Do you know what that shows though? You mentioned that one with Enable, obviously world class. Kyprios, world class. It's that little bit extra of being that world class that just takes over at the end.
Yeah, it is.
A little bit more streetwise, battle hard, and just that. Just a better horse.
Yeah.
Just a slightly better horse. So.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It was a shame. So I thought we had Kairos Chorister at 2021. I thought was a really, really good shout. But looking at it, she went round so keen, and Benoit had no choice, pulled her out. She had no cover as well. She was quite wide.
Done halfway.
And that was it when pushed along. Yeah. So, but can't be ruled out from future staying races.
No.
If she settles, maybe they put a hood on. I don't know, something like that next time. Who knows?
Back at 2 miles.
Probably. Or try the distance again and hope she settles. But you'll probably be right back to 2.
Could go back to 2 miles and maybe just. I know it ran handy, but
Goodwood?
It ran 2-3. Like you say, if we can settle it and keep it near the pace over 2, should win.
Yeah, we'll see. So it was very, very entertaining Gold Cup. Coronation. The Coronation. Now, we just spoke about this, and what's interesting about the Coronation is we both came victim to a horse that had slipped under the radar in Porta Fortuna of Joseph O'Brien. Joseph? Yeah, Joseph O'Brien.
No,
sorry.
Donnacha's.
Yeah, sorry, Donnacha.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Imagine that Christmas table.
What, the O'Brien household?
Yeah, and you've got Joseph.
So you got dad at the top of the table. Then you got Joseph. He's the king at Joseph. Donnacha sort of, fighting about.
Well, pulling the Christmas crackers, aren't they?
Yeah.
See
who's the joke. No, don't.
Both very good. Very
good. So good. That would be a hell of a thing. Yeah. Imagine he invites Willie Mullins over. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a glass of sherry after.
They're sherry blokes, aren't they? Do you reckon there's sherries?
Yeah.
Irish.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
Yeah. I'll have a sherry. Good race. Really good race. I told you that I thought that the American horse was going to finish like a train. They'd put O'Sheen on it. They changed the jockey. Ramatil was his name. And I thought this is the one in this race. And suddenly we were caught off guard, weren't we? Because Opera Singer, you'd spoken about Opera Singer a few times in the week.
I was all on Opera Singer, to be honest. But I just having a look back at Porta Fortuna, actually. And when you look at the last 4 races, won the Cheveley Park last year, Group 1.
Yeah.
It was, I think it won or was it second?
It was second, I think, last time out.
Second in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And then same with the Guineas.
Yeah.
Beating a neck in the 1,000 Guineas.
Yeah.
So if you look at the actual form of those 3 races, 3 of its last sort of 4 or last 3, its form's there, isn't it? I don't know.
So listen to this.
Carried away with the O'Brien.
the three races it's won in the UK have all been on good firm ground.
Mm-hmm.
The three races that it's won, love the ground.
Where did they 6 furlongs? Some of them as well, weren't they? They
Yes,
started at 6
yeah,
furlong,
6
and then
furlong,
stepped up to a mile in the last 3
then a
or 4
mile.
races.
Correct. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So, but looked again. It was just like I say it again, but looked another snug win at the end. You
Yeah,
can
it
tell in
did,
that sort of last 0.3 of a furlong.
Yeah,
but it
travelled
just
well. It was
pushed
sat
out.
there. Yeah, it was just sort of sat there when it sat behind.
Exactly. That was. I've got here Opera Singer just beaten by a better horse. I think we can agree. It was just a better.
Yeah,
Fortuna was
it
better.
ran up to what it should run up to.
Yeah.
She'll win races,
She will.
but yeah, it just got caught.
Do you remember Opera Singer third to the Carl Burke horse in the was it Irish Guineas? Fallen Angel.
Yeah,
Fallen Angel.
yeah,
That was a good race, wasn't it?
yeah.
That was a decent race.
Because that's where Ramatui ran
Yes.
second or third
Yes.
in that race as well.
So yeah, but just it was another result that I thought that's not shocked me, but I thought oh god, that's gone way under the radar. That has.
Yeah, we didn't. It's one of those you look at. I don't know. Maybe because if it was with an O'Brien or something like that,
Yeah.
you'd hear about it every day.
Yeah.
And going into the race, maybe like I say, maybe it's gone a little bit under the radar. Won at 4-1, 7-2, 4-1, something like that. So not.
I think it was something. I think it was 7-2.
I think because you had the Ramatui, Amalka was another one in the race.
Yeah.
Opera Singer, you're probably looking at it going, oh, okay, well, it's a tough race, but no, deserved the win.
Yeah.
There's nothing unlucky about anything. No, it deserved the win.
No, it wasn't. No, just beaten by a better horse on the day. So it is what it is. We're on the 5th day, and
Yep.
the 5th day was something. The 5th day was something special because in my few years of following racing, I've seen a couple of stars. Obviously, back when years ago when you've been following racing for years.
Yeah.
So and you got to see like Frankel
Mhm.
and horses. Well, there's no other horse of that quality, but daughter of Frankel, Bedtime Story,
Yeah.
ran on day 5
Mm-hmm.
and won the Chesham mighty impressively.
Which I missed.
Yeah, you missed. You were out when you.
Yeah.
But I rang you. I said,
I've sat at a golf club with a pint in my hand, and
yeah,
so I missed it.
no. Well, I rung you. Don't worry, you can always rely on me to keep you up to date. So I rung you and said, I don't know what we've just seen, but it's something special.
Yeah.
Something seriously special. And it reminded me of, like it was as she was crossing the line, she won by 9 lengths. And it was like highlights of Frankel's races where he pulled clear many a times
Yeah.
at Newmarket.
Yeah.
It was crazy. So has now been priced up as favourite for the 1,000 guineas
Mhm.
next year at 3-1, FYI. And Fairy Godmother is behind her as well at
Tell
6s.
you what, yeah. And Ryan
But-
Moore will come on. That'll be for another day. But Ryan Moore will have a decision to make. It depends how they both progress for the
Who's
second
more
half of the season.
impressive? Because they're two very different performances
I'm gonna.
and they won in different ways, mate.
Yeah. I said I didn't see the race, but I watched it back. I'm going to come on to Fairy Godmother later, but purely on Bedtime Story, it was mightily impressive. We don't know what's finished behind it really. So we'll have to see what comes of it later in the season. But to win any Ascot race by 15 lengths was it in the end?
9.5.
Was it 9.5?
It looked like
lengths?
15.
Looked like about 15.
Who'd you take home?
What-
You got them both in front of you. Who'd you take home?
Oh mate,
Sounds like he's avoiding the question, like an MP.
I'll come back to you.
Racing
it's too early,
fans.
it's early in the season. Well, we're halfway. Well, no, yeah. Let's say we're halfway through the
Fairy
flat
Godmother,
season.
Bedtime Story, racing fans, you know what to do.
Let's-
Comments are below. for
Let's
you
see
to-
what happens in their next few races.
Yeah,
I think if you give me a free £20 bet, I know who I'd put it on.
I think I do too.
But yeah, we'll see.
Tricky one. I was watching Fairy Godmother, and obviously, it was a combination of it was a combination of jockey skill and talent, and a horse getting you out of trouble. And Fairy Godmother was pulled around every single runner
Yeah.
that was bolting to the
yeah.
line.
Whereas
and
Bedtime Story
near
is
side.
clear.
Bedtime Story
just went straight through.
Yeah, he did.
There was
Yeah,
nothing.
no
there
one
was
could go with it.
No, there's
No.
no. There was.
No.
Yeah, just had a nice passage through.
Yeah, yeah,
And when Ryan said go, went.
yeah, absolutely.
Just went and weren't stopping, and that was over 7.
Yeah, it was.
So
Obviously, mile is no problem, so up we go.
nah, God no. I'm sure later on in the season there'll be more races for.
There has to
We've
be.
got
Yeah,
the end of
yeah,
the
but we'll see
season.
her plenty of times again, won't we?
Yeah, end of
Yeah, yeah,
season
yeah, yeah.
races.
Yeah.
Which I no doubt will then probably make favourite for the Guineas
Yeah.
if the form stands.
Well, this is
I'm
the
sure
thing,
it
isn't it?
will.
Because
I'm sure
because
it
you
will.
never know. Because if a horse now goes out and wins that was in the same race behind Bedtime Story, if a couple come out and win, boosts
Yeah.
the form, doesn't it?
Well, you can't win an Ascot race by 10 lengths and be shit, can you?
Not really.
So some it's
Not unless
we'll see. You can't. You won't want to think it's a pure fluke.
No, you wouldn't. No, you're right. Yeah. So all in all, and obviously, like I've got here the Godolphin horse that was supposed to give it a race was struggling, like at least a couple of furlongs in.
Yeah.
So it's just there was just no competition, and it's stuff you love to see. The gap appeared, Ryan's manoeuvred, and you thought,
Yeah.
go on, love, off you go, go on, girl.
No, I've only I think I've watched it back once because obviously when you texted me, I hadn't seen it, so I wasn't sure what it was. And I've only really looked at Bedtime Story. I've not really checked out everything else behind it because I've just not had the time.
It was something special.
Yeah, because it was yesterday.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I just
yeah,
haven't
of
had the
course.
time since.
So we got our takes there on first 5 days, which is good. I want to ask you about horse of the week, performance of the week. Who comes out of this meeting and you think, wow,
So-
who do you take out of it?
Performance of the week, and the reason I didn't say too much on Fairy Godmother just then, because you was talking about Bedtime Story, but my performance of the week is Fairy Godmother. Like you said, twice got stopped in the run. Brian, I think he was on the far side, wasn't he? And they sort of split and then came over, got checked twice, and you think nowhere to go. But Ryan Moore being Ryan Moore, I actually think it's a great ride. A lot of people, you read it since saying, it's a shit ride and this, that, and the other, but didn't really have a choice. He sort of sat at the back, got checked, but as soon as he switched it inside to come past, you could see it went once, stopped, went twice, stopped, and went bollocks to this. Ran through the inside and just come through and just ran everything.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
And I thought she was very impressive.
Isn't it amazing how, I mean, this is obvious, but isn't it amazing how the jockey knows that you have what you have under you in order to do that? Because he clearly knew. Well, he either knew that he was going to get there. He thought, I've got enough to just switch around all these bastards. So I'm going around the outside. I'm still going to get there. He either knew or he didn't that he's got enough of an engine under there.
While
Everything's sprinting forward, he's veering left.
Yeah, he had no choice. So it's either he knows he's on a good animal, and B, he's got to do it. Because if it doesn't, there's nowhere to go. So he's got to try, and if it doesn't win, it doesn't win. But at least he's done something to have a go.
Yeah.
But I just thought the way when she got in the clear, I thought it was picked up very impressively.
Do you find it hard? Do you find it harder to assess what the best trip is for a horse, depending on the how it's performed, and what I mean, or the way it's finished? And what I mean by that is, you can see that clearly Fairy Godmother is going to relish stepping up in trip.
Yeah,
because
that was 6.
Because it was strong, very strong at the line.
Yeah.
And had enough and was still strong at the line, having to switch round and still got there.
Yeah.
As opposed to a horse like Bedtime Story, who has just gone to the front a couple of furlongs out.
Yeah.
And for me, I can't judge as well when something goes to the front and powers home, because it's trying to judge how hard it's hit the line. It's nothing else around it. Do you know what I mean?
And they were both very different races in that. Bedtime Story, I thought, was an impressive turn of foot. Got there, went, and just very impressive turn of foot. Whereas Fairy Godmother was more, it had to, like a train, isn't it? When you got to get the steamroller going, it got stopped, then got going.
Yeah.
So you go, well, yeah, it's difficult to work out the fractions on that, but I was just impressed. I just thought
It was good going, wasn't it?
they also she got Ryan out of trouble. I think I wouldn't say it was a bad ride from Ryan. So I actually thought in the end it was quite a good ride, because to do what he did. No, some jockeys might have crumbled.
Was it the plan all along?
Well, some jockeys might have crumbled, mate, wouldn't they? Of
course they would.
Got checked,
Who's a jockey that would have
where
crumbled?
to go. Well, we'll get done for slander, mate.
Yeah, we probably would. Yeah. Moving on.
Well, we spoke about one jockey about an hour ago, didn't we, that we weren't particularly overly impressed with.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
We'll come on to that another time.
No. You don't want to name and shame, no. No, you don't have to. No, that's fine.
That's up to you, mate. No, because it comes off the topic
No,
of what
forget
we're
it.
talking
No,
about.
no, come on.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about
can we just...
performance of the week for me was very good.
let's refocus.
Yeah. I don't know about you. What was yours?
Fuck's sake. I completely agree. I'm on the same. I'm on the same. Fairy Godmother. Bedtime Story was mightily impressive, and we can't speak about these two much more, but because the form isn't there yet. But she was mightily impressive for me. A performance like that is much more impressive than winning by 9 or 10 lengths, because it's the amount of trouble that the horse had in front of her, and thought, as you said, bollocks to this. I'm winning this race anyway, so forget it. And it's one of those it's the unknowns, isn't it? I say to you about the sprint races. You get a lot of sprint races at Ascot that a horse has raced once, won once, but you can't tell how good it is. No. You can't tell how good until you're, I would say, 2 or 3 races in. You can't tell. No,
when you get some of those big 5 furlong races and there's 25 runners, and half the field's got one next to it.
Exactly.
You're taking a punt. I mean, look at, was it Rashabar? 80-1?
Yes, it was. 80.
I can't remember what race it was.
What, the winner?
Yeah.
Billy Loughnane got his first Ascot winner on that. I
can't remember which race it was in.
That was like finishing 80s, 50s, 40s, like as in first, second, third and fourth. It was a joke.
And weirdly, that didn't have a 1 next to its name. I think it had a 3 and a 2.
I'll tell you what that did have, the potential to make a really juicy play spot for somebody.
Just a nice bet, 80-1, wasn't it? Just a nice bet, mate. But yeah.
It was lovely.
So that's funny you agree, because we haven't spoke about this beforehand. We haven't touched base on who we thought performance of the week, flop of the week, that sort of thing. So it's interesting that we both said that.
Fairy Godmother definitely wants the horse to take out. Did you have a flop of the week?
Yes.
Who was it?
Again, debated this on 2 or 3 different horses. But for me, it was Notable Speech.
Notable Speech?
Yeah. As good as Rosalien. We said how good Rosalien is.
Yeah. But beat Rosalien, obviously.
But on the back of the Guineas, obviously a couple of prep races at Kempton, which was a weird sort of prep for the Guineas, but worked.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just didn't do anything, did it? It came wide. You think, okay, it's going to mount a challenge now. And for a Group 1 winner that won the Guineas, and it did win the Guineas well. Richard Hannon said he was shocked Rosalien didn't win the Guineas. So, and how good that horse is turning out to be, for Notable Speech to beat it.
Yeah.
To then, I don't know, just didn't do anything, did it? I don't know your take on it, but travel, pulled out wide, and then
just
nothing
flattened.
There.
Yeah, there was nothing. So, something was amiss. I don't know what it was.
Something will come to light, but in terms of just purely what I thought was, yeah.
Do you think Apple is he in good form at the moment?
Doesn't seem to be, actually, does it? When you look at the rest of the week after that, if you look at some of the horses that he's run after that, then no.
Just doesn't look, Charlie Apple, it doesn't look like, I'm not seeing much solid blue colour across the line, mate. I'm not. No. Godolphin in general, I'm not seeing loads of it, mate.
No, they're not. Maybe there's just a few of them out of form.
But happens to the best of us. Happens to the best of us. So, Charlie, don't worry about it, mate. We don't mean anything by it.
I just don't think it... Maybe that weren't its true running. Maybe in time it will be, but...
What's on my head?
Got plank going off out your ear, mate.
No. So, flop of the week. I wouldn't say it's a flop, but I've got down here that I was expecting. I thought Opera Singer should have won because I thought Opera Singer was going to win, and I was a bit disappointed to see that it didn't.
But, the only thing you would say on Opera Singer, mate, is that we spoke about it just a minute ago, didn't we? The depth of that race. That there was 4 or 5 proper horses in that race.
Yeah, there were. The true test.
The Malkas, Portafortes. So there was...
really battle-hardened horses.
Just depth to the race,
depth,
mate.
Yeah.
But no, look, that's your opinion. I get it, because I had it in a treble.
Well, I looked at because I was paying close attention to that French race, and I thought, this is you can see the engines there for this horse, and if you get if if he gets more luck in the next race, they're going to be onto something here.
Yeah, it was second, wasn't it? I mean, it ran.
It was a good run. It was a good
Yeah,
run.
it
It's
ran
just that you're not interested in a 6-4 second
No.
place. You're just not.
No.
But it's just what it is.
I mean, the Coolmore fancied it.
Yeah,
They fancied her.
yeah, it did. Yeah,
I said it didn't run a bad race, but yeah, I get it. Because it did went to the front with it, didn't it? And just couldn't. No, Port of Fortune was just ended up being too good for it.
there was a just going right the way back. There was a punter that had. Did you see? Had 100 grand on Fairy Godmother to win
Yes,
200.
I did. When the one was it Bet Sports? That's one I saw as well. Had 100. Was it 160 grand
What?
on some? Oh mate, it's gonna bug me now.
160 grand on what?
Yeah. Oh bollocks! It'll come back to me.
Yeah.
There was
I've
another.
got time for this.
No, I don't know why I went off
just-
to see
it's-
there.
yeah.
But,
Well, I want to know now.
yeah, no, I'll have to. I'll come back to that one. Yeah, there's one on it.
We said already earlier today that in terms of eye-catching horses and one to take out of the race, out of the meeting, is Alfina, who we mentioned earlier. I want to take that horse out of the race and keep an eye on that and keep that in the old tracker.
Yeah,
For if Owen Burrows does send it up in trip, I want to make sure that I'm there to chuck some money behind that.
yeah. I
No doubt.
think he'll win next time out. My sort of horse to take out was the Andrew Baldwin horse. Over the sprint, the 5 furlong, Tropical Storm.
Tropical Storm.
I
Yeah, let's talk about this.
I text you on the day saying that I think he went off a big price, 25 to 1, 20
Well,
to 1.
he opened at 25s.
I might did it
and then it cut in a lot to
Did it cut-
12s.
oh, it's 12s
when
in
it
the
actually went off at 12 or
Yeah,
14s.
yeah.
But it was because we said the race wasn't often won by maidens. It's been
No,
done.
It's
been done. In 2019 and 2023, it was done.
Yeah.
And but outperformed. The bookies got it wrong, didn't they?
Yeah, if you look at its form before that, had a 3 and a 2 next to his team. I think that second was at Chester.
Yeah.
And it stayed on really well. And I just thought it was drawn 1 as well.
Yeah.
So it was drawn right over the far side. So it had no cover out from the stalls. And I think it was the last one off the bridle. Was it
Looked to be-
Shareholder the winner?
Yeah.
With those, and it sort of
Yes,
pulled with
shareholder
it,
won.
But Shareholder, it's a good horse. But yeah, it can't remain without a 1 next to its name much longer
Can it?
because that's 2 strong races. It's
Took a
run
big
and-
step up on form.
Yeah.
That because its last 2 races, it said the form was working out quite well.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, the form of this race is going to work out even better.
Yeah, it
to
should
be third,
do.
it was it was on the far side.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was because normally horses finish on the near side as opposed to the far side. Is that right?
It depends, mate. It depends. It depends on the distance. Ascot's a funny one because you have those 30 runners, 20 runners, and they'll split.
Difference of
they split
opinion.
into 2 groups, don't they?
Some go down the middle.
Some go down the middle, but more often than not, probably the stands rail.
Yeah.
You more often than not will get the more winners.
Yeah.
Because they seem to come from the stand rail side. So I just thought to be drawn 1 and finish second behind a good horse and add in not 1. Okay, you could say, well, it's starting to get a horse that's got a 3, a 2, and a 2 next to its name. But it'll win a race.
Starting to look a bit exposed, but it doesn't tell the tale, does it?
No,
That's what
it's
the
got-
notes say. That's what the notes say. The write-ups
No.
always
Yeah,
say.
he'll have a
Starting to
1
look a
next
little
to
bit.
it. Yeah.
No, you don't understand. You
He'll
don't
have a 1 next
understand.
to its name soon. It's
They're
got
the
to.
loopholes we like to find.
Exactly.
That's
mate.
exactly it.
He'll
isn't it?
have a 1 next to its name.
Yeah, of course it will. So, as we begin to wind down already, can you believe that?
No,
Sitting here talking for that long,
talking bollocks.
talking bollocks. As we begin to wind down, upcoming stuff. Next weekend, I told you, was the Pretty Polly Stakes, the Curragh. And we saw on Racing Post that Emily Upjohn's been put in for that.
Yeah.
But the Eclipse, Sandown,
Yeah.
coming up.
Yeah.
And then after that is the Champion Stakes. Can I just say, massive fan of the Champion Stakes. Do you know why? Can I just take us...
Can I just stop you a minute?
Well, I
Before
stopped
move-
you.
No. But wait. Before we finish on Royal Ascot, I want to do a shout out to a horse.
Oh, sorry, of course. Yeah. A shout out.
I
Is
told
this
you
a
about it
shout
earlier,
out?
you just mugged me off.
No, it's fair enough. A shout out
I'm
as
joking.
in... A shout
No.
out as in what?
Hatton.
This horse is going to win races?
No,
Hatton.
Hatton. Yeah. I think you know what? I'm glad it won at Ascot.
Yeah.
I didn't back it, but it was one of those. It's such a trier, and I'm just as a horse racing enthusiast. I'm glad it got its head in front.
Well
Placed
deserved.
in a couple. Yeah, definitely placed in a couple of Guinnesses. Sorry, Guinnesses. We're talking about
Guinnesses? What, beer?
Guineas.
Oh.
Placed in a couple of Guineas, and yeah, I'm back to 7 furlongs. I wasn't sure if it's going to go up in trip, or it's come back in trip, back to 7 furlongs.
Yeah.
Yeah, just battle hardened. Just don't give up, does it?
That horse is proper battle hardened.
Yeah, just go. Just keeps battling.
Absolutely.
But,
It doesn't know
gives
when to give
everything.
up.
No,
yeah,
it gives
everything every time.
Yeah, and whether it's good enough or not, obviously the last couple of times he hasn't been, but I'm glad he got
Is
his
he
head in
Hannon's?
front. He is,
So
yeah.
Sean Levy rides
yeah.
him then. Yeah.
I've got another quote from Hannon actually.
Have you?
Enough. Yeah.
Another quote?
Yeah.
This would be
Don't
good.
know where these come from, these quotes, but just
I hope it's good.
um
This actually isn't in the planned discussion topics.
no,
so
it weren't actually. No. He says he's one of my
wants to be good.
favourites, and if there ever a horse deserved to win, it was him. He cost 27,000 guineas, with not a lot really for a horse like that. Couldn't sell him as a yearling, but yeah, he said he's as good as gold, and he's glad he won.
That is good. Sometimes they really deserve it. You know, you could
yeah.
tell. Yeah, I've watched many of
Yeah.
his races, and yeah, it's definitely deserved.
I had another quote as well.
Have you? Are you going to read
Yeah.
that now? Or
Yeah, might as well, haven't I?
go on,
Well, I
read
had
it.
3 quotes that I totally forgot
Okay.
about.
Who's the
Godmother.
third quote from? Is it Hannon
Ryan
again?
Moore.
Ryan Moore.
Yeah.
Tell
On
us.
Fairy
Tell us all.
Godmother.
Tell us.
Yeah.
Tell us.
No, just because I think because you want to hear from the jockeys, you want to hear from the owners, the
I
trainers,
completely
you want
agree,
to
mate.
hear from them, don't you? And he said, I gave her an impossible task, and she got me out of a hole. I kind of wanted to be towards the stand sides a little bit with the fancied horses. We didn't go mad. There was a wall of horses in front of me and around me, and it's incredible that she was able to win from that position. There you go.
It was,
I
though.
forgot to say that in my
No, I like it.
my performance of the week. Yeah.
I like it.
No. And he's
Um,
right. He's exactly. He's bang on.
Yeah, he is spot on. I like those 3 quotes there to take away from that. That's good. So yeah, Eclipse is coming up, and sorry, I was taking a trip down memory lane, and Champion Stakes is obviously
Yeah.
coming up in July. I love the Champion Stakes, and the reason I love the Champion Stakes is because of Cracksman back
Yep.
in the day. Who won
Champion Stakes at Ascot.
Yeah,
That's later down the line, mate.
no, July. No,
No, October.
it's not. It's July.
We're talking about the same race here.
It is in July. You're talking about a different race.
Maybe.
I think so. Yeah.
All right, we'll move on.
Yeah, no, it's fine. We can move on. Champion State's coming up, and yeah, really looking forward to that. And I love that race. But the Eclipse is a bit special.
Eclipse is a good race because it's that intermediary between, it's a 1 mile too. So you do get the mile horses kind of step up, and you've got the 1 mile 4 horse at the City of Troy coming back in distance. So
Who obviously wins the race?
yeah, so should we talk about the Eclipse?
Okay,
City of Troy wins. Should we move on?
is that you done?
Yeah.
So City of Troy goes to
As long
Sandown,
as City
wins.
of Troy isn't another August Rodin,
Okay,
where he looks world class and then shits himself in the next race.
right. If, and I'm not saying
No, go on.
if he is another Auguste Rodin,
Yeah.
and the horse that I said to take out of the meeting in Ophelia goes to the Eclipse,
Yeah.
that is my, because at the moment it's not clear who's running, because you
No.
can tell that because
Yeah.
it's priced up at 16-1.
Yeah.
But City of Troy is not odds on, but a hot favourite
No.
to win it.
The market will start moving soon because it's first week of July, normally the eclipse. So what we got about 2 or 3 weeks.
We haven't
before
got
it
long.
starts.
We haven't got
No,
long
couple
for
of
it to
weeks,
see
mate,
how,
but,
for it to take shape. But provided it's not, he wins it hands down.
He should do, mate. If he turns
Shouldn't
up,
he?
If he turns up in what he showed in the Derby, he wins.
That stiff
It's-
finish. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an uphill finish at Sandown, so it's no, turn up in form, he wins, mate.
Yeah, he really, really should. So yeah, looking forward to seeing Emily Upjohn run next weekend as well. Do you remember Emily Upjohn when we watched her at, was it in the Coronation Cup where she got really unlucky against Tuesday? Was it that at Epsom? Do you remember when
No, it was the Oaks,
Yes, of course it was.
because I had her in
Yeah.
a double with Desert Crown to win the Derby. No, she got chinned, didn't she?
God, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, weren't happy about that.
Do you know who else races soon? Passenger.
Yeah.
He
That one at
passenger
Chester, didn't
races.
it?
Yeah, passenger races. Yeah, that was. We thought that was going to be the Derby winner, a couple of years ago. Passenger.
Did we ever say Derby winner? Not sure.
Not sure.
Not sure.
No. Michael
Can't
Stout.
remember.
I was reading an interesting article the other day to say that Michael Stout said that he still enjoys it, but not as much. I don't think he's got long left before
No
he retires.
disrespect to him. He's been a great trainer, but he's gone way past retirement age
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
in terms of not as a he knows his horse as God, but is in a case of does he want to be getting up at 5 o'clock every day, train horses?
he doesn't, does he?
Was he 80?
He's got to be clocking on for that. Yeah.
Yeah, he can't be far off.
He needs to be getting up, putting your slippers on, and taking a wander down to the shops to get a paper.
I've walked down the promenade on the beach in Spain somewhere, mate.
Mate, absolutely.
Enjoy life. But, maybe in my day, he's been a great trainer over the years. He's had some he's had some good Derby winners as well.
Yes,
but
been great. We're almost out of time. Do you know? Speaking of memory lane, quick 30 seconds. I put a name down on my list to throw a horse at you from back when I was really getting into my racing. And
is this going to make me look a price dick?
No, DXB.
DXB.
Do you remember DXB?
Yeah.
Proper stayer. Never came
Johnson's
through
horse.
for true potential. Johnson horse.
Yeah. I backed in the Derby.
Yes.
Come third in the Derby, didn't
that's
it?
it.
Third in the Derby? I'm sure it come third in the
Yeah,
Derby.
I think you're right. Yeah. What a horse.
Yeah,
What
it
a
was
horse.
good. Did it ever fulfil its potential?
I don't
Where did
think
you get
so.
that from? Where
No.
did that come up from?
I was just surfing through YouTube the other day and I thought, I remember DXB, good stayers and
It's
it's
never
good.
really fulfilled.
Where'd you pull these things from? That you remember.
Maybe it never fulfilled its potential. Maybe it's just never good enough.
Well, yeah, maybe.
But
Have you enjoyed
random.
it? You enjoyed this?
Yeah, it's good.
It's been good, isn't it?
Weren't sure at first what to where we're going to go with it, but
This is
it's
good,
been-
isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just allows us to talk shit about horses, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly it. So a couple of meetings coming up, and I'm sure we'll be back soon. It's been really good. So couple of arguments to settle there and debates in the comments, if you would. If you're interested, then leave us a comment about who would you take home, fairy godmother? Would you take bedtime story? You still won't tell us.
Okay.
And
You give me £20 free bet
who'd you put it on?
on the Guineas.
Yeah,
Fairy godmother.
there you go, fairy godmother. Are we right or are we wrong? So catch you in the
see.
next one.
We'll
Cheers.
see.
Cool, decent.